This morning when I was listening to Dodash and I was listening to her story about how she felt out of place, how, God put it in her spirit that something was just not right. And the way that things panned out, she still stayed strong and she's still showing up how she wants to be seen. So, hey, Les, hey, y'all. So, I just want to start off by saying all glory to God. Y'all, listen, today I had an absolutely amazing day at work. When I tell you from like beginning to end, absolutely amazing. So, y'all, for starters, I got off a whole hour early. I hit my boss a message on Teams this morning, and I let her know. I was like, "Hey, I got some things to do with my daughter today. It's our homecoming here, and I wanted to be there so that I can be in support of her. She's a cheerleader, just all the things, right?" So, see, she actually came in this morning in like really great spirit. Like one of the things that I actually pray for when I pray for my workplace is for whatever my boss or coworkers is going through, for God to help them, and for them to have an open mind for working with other people and just really be mindful of their environments, their work habits, the things that they're doing, as well as for myself, right? So, y'all, listen. I got to work, and like I mentioned, I sent her a Teams message and I asked her if I can leave a little bit early. So I was just thinking like 30 minutes early, okay? I just wanted enough time to like beat traffic so I can make it home. So I won't just be kind of like, so ultimately so I could have more time. So when she came in this morning, y'all, she was upbeat. She was in really good spirit. We talked about her home, how she had because she worked from home yesterday, and we talked about how she's getting some repairs done. I mean, she was just really open and just talking about how things didn't go as she really planned for it, but she made do with the situation, right? It was like things were just really working out for her. Um, so first and foremost, I haven't said this to God yet. God, thank you for helping her with her situation because you never know what someone is actually going through in their personal life. But anyway, y'all, so after, because she came, she was like, well, I'm about to green go in my office. Is there anything that you need like assistance with or anything I can help you with? I was like, no. But girl, I said you. I didn't say that, but I was like, no. But I did send you a Teams message, and I'm just trying to see if I can leave, 30 minutes early. And she was like, yeah. And then she went to her desk, and she actually responded back to the Teams message, and she was like, hey, once you get done with your reconciliations, I'm an accountant. I work in the reconciliation department. She said, once you get done with your reconciliations, just let me know when it gets close to that time. And if you need assistance with anything, me and this other person will put together and we'll get the rest of your reports completed for you. Girl, what? Now, y'all know that made me want to work even harder. Her showing me that support made me want to like hustle and bustle. Like I do this anyway, but y'all know how I feel about deadlines. I've been praying about this. That's something that God has to work with me on. Oh my goodness. But yeah, so I really like hustled and bustled and I got all of my work done. And it was like before 2 o'clock when I got finished. And well actually it was like let me see, I think it was like maybe 1:31 to be exact. And we had a meeting scheduled at 2 o'clock. And when it got like 1:45, she was like, hey, we have this meeting at 2 o'clock. Are you gonna be able to complete everything? And I was like, yes. And I felt so proud to say that because I don't know. I felt like because yeah, I know how I am with deadlines. I felt like because she knew that I'd be kind of pushed into the limit a little bit. I felt like she felt as if she was going to have to pick up some of the slack. And that's not normal for them to have to pick up the slack or anything like that. I think I'm just not doing my work. It's not what it is. Um, I just finished right at the time. A little bit before. But y'all, listen, hear me out. Hear me out. Okay. I'm a great employee. Don't think I'm a horrible employee. I swear to you. It's only the deadlines, y'all. I do the work, okay? But y'all, I don't know why I also feel like I have to really explain that, because I feel like when I talk about it, I make myself sound so bad, and that's not what I'm trying to like say. Anyway, now I'm just babbling. Anyway, let's get off the deadlines. I'll talk about that all day. But y'all listen, so when 1:45 came, of course, she asked me if I'll be able to complete everything, because she wanted to know how the end of the day was gonna how things were gonna occur at the end of the day, if she needed to pick up the report or what she needed to do. And I was like, actually, no. The report that I thought that I was gonna finish right after our meeting, I'm actually about to send you the approval now. Um, and I'll finish the other report, which takes typically maybe 15 minutes to complete. I told her that I will finish that as soon as we leave the meeting. I mean, so when we leave the meeting, I'll finish it afterwards. And she was like, okay, well, that sounds fine. Just let me know if you think that you're going to run out of time. I really want you to have time to spend with your family. So I was like, okay, thank you so much. I appreciate that. So we went to the meeting, and while we were walking to the meeting, my coworker, he was like, what do you think this meeting is about? Because it wasn't a topic on the actual meeting, it was just a meeting between me, him, her, and the boss that's like right immediately over her. So me and him, we was walking down, and it was like walking the Green Mile. Y'all, this morning, I'm gonna put a pin in it right there. But this morning I was listening to DoorDash. Okay, so I guess you haven't heard of DoorDash. DoorDash is a young lady who has started YouTube, and like she has took it by like a storm. Okay, like she is just growing like crazy, and she's just being her authentic self. Well, this morning I was listening to one of her videos on the way to work. Everything's always on the way to work. I was listening to it on the way to work, and she was talking about how she had went to this event, and some kind of way or another, it was a situation to where someone actually didn't want her to be there at the event, and they ended up like flying her out sooner. And she was just talking about all the things like, showing up for yourself, and just being the person who God has given you authority to be. And she didn't say it in those exact words, that's just me, you know, just telling y'all what I got from it. But essentially, she was talking about just showing up as the person who you want to be seen as, and don't let anyone make you feel as if you were lesser than, right? So as me and my coworker, we're walking to the meeting, we're walking the Green Mile, and I'm all enthusiastic. I'm happy because I thought it was the meeting that we had on the calendar that was reoccurring. Well, she told me that she had used that same time slot. However, she had changed the agenda for the meeting. So while we're walking, he's asking me, what I think it's for. I'm just like, well, it's one of the reoccurring meetings. I think she just wants to like touch base with us, just follow up and just see where we are with this, things that we can work on, areas to where, she thinks that we're doing great at, things like that. Y'all, so before I even went to the meeting, now I know I complain. Well, I don't complain. I know I say I don't like deadlines, but I'm actually pretty punctual when it comes to like other areas. It's just something about feeling rushed. Like if I can do it on my own, I'm amazing. But yeah, so beforehand, I had wrote down and it was like bullet points and everything, like some things that I felt as if I needed to work on, some areas that I felt like I had been doing like exceedingly well on. And I was like, yeah, I'm about to tell them about all of this. I'm about to tell them about this new mindset change that I have or whatever. Amazing, right? So we go to the meeting, and I had my little sheet of paper or whatever, and she goes, oh, you have a list. And I was like, yeah, I thought I'd be proactive and write down some things that I wanted to discuss. Since I didn't mad or anything like that, it's just, a few things that, I felt like I wanted to bring to the team. And she was like, well, I sure hope you wrote down your notes or whatever, because this meeting is very important. And the way she said it, y'all, like me and my coworker, we looked at each other, we were just like, oh my goodness, this is not what we expected. Like, what is about to happen? And at that time, I didn't know that, our boss over her was actually coming, and she was like, yeah, so and so's coming too. This is really big. We have to make sure we talk to you guys about this. And she said it all firm and everything. And I was just like, oh my goodness. Well, since I was talking to her anyway, I was like, well, you want to know what? I'm having a really great day. I've really been doing a lot of thinking and whatnot. And I said, you know what? I'm ready to take whatever it is, whatever challenge it is, head on. I got this. And she was like, oh, I was like, Lord, what's about to happen? Oh my goodness. Y'all, we had this full long meeting about the time clock. I was like, girl, you had me shaking in my boots. Y'all, the meeting was about the law being passed here in Arkansas about how um, I used to be an exempt employee, but they're now changing us to non-exempt employees. I work in corporate accounting, so we were on the level of before to be exempt, but now since they have changed us to non-exempt employees, they want us to clock in. So I was like, girl, you had me like horrified. Like, I just knew it was going to be just horrible. So after that meeting, after they discussed all of that, at the very end, she was like, but yeah, back to this list. I'm really curious to know like what you wrote down, like what you took time to actually prepare, to prepare for to share with us. And I and I got it, and it's one of those sticky note tabs, whatever. So I pulled it up and I flipped it over, and I was like, oh, don't worry about this. And then she was like, no, I'm really interested in it. Is it anything good? So the manager that's over her, she was like he was like what did he say? He said, well, I know you wrote something good on there. Just share one good point that you made that was good. So I was like, okay. I said, well, you know what? I don't mind sharing this. And I told him, I said, y'all know I used to be a life coach before. I got this position. So I'm going to just lay it out on you guys. So then it was her turn. She was like, oh no, what are you going to say? So I was like, no, it's good. It's really, really good. So I went through the whole like spiel about how, I'm undergoing like a whole mindset change, like the whole last 2 weeks. I've really been changing my perspective on how I view my job duties, how I view my coworkers, how I view just the workplace in general, and how I'm wanting to just expand in this area, how I'm wanting to learn more, and how I'm actually wanting to like take my challenges head on instead of being afraid and, not accepting the challenge because I don't want to be at work just dreading reports. I now want to learn how to do these reports. I want to know the ins and outs of the job duties. Like, I don't want to be that person who don't know. I want to be the go-to. Come to me, come to me, come see me. I know. Like, and I'm not trying to like be big-headed or entitled or anything like that. But in my previous positions that I worked at, I was always like really knowledgeable. And now that I'm in this new position, well, I've been with the company for 12 plus years. And I've been in, what was it, 12 years? Actually, 13 now, because I've been in this department for 1 full year. I just had my anniversary. Y'all, listen, I'm still learning. I'm always going to be a forever student. So I'm never ever going to feel as if I know everything. But the girl love to be knowledgeable. You hear me? I love to be knowledgeable. And I give all honor to God because I pray to God and I ask God all the time to help me to resolve things, to help me to figure things out, and to be with me throughout my day. So y'all, listen, when I got done talking about all this, they looked at me like they wanted to give me like an applause. They was like, Christy, you are really motivational. Like you really do this. And I was like, yeah, like I really listen to podcasts and like motivational speeches like all throughout the day, like especially when I get on the road. Like I'm always listening to something motivational. If it's not motivational, then it's spiritually and it's something that's feeding my spirit. Like I feel like God be moving through me in this car. You hear me? So it was just a plus that this morning when I was listening to Dodash and I was listening to her story about how she felt out of place, how, God put it in her spirit that something was just not right. And the way that things panned out, she still stayed strong and she's still showing up how she wants to be seen. So yeah, if you haven't checked her out, go ahead and check her out. She's a regular person. Like, she's not worried about how her appearance is. That's one of the things that I struggle with actually like starting my channel, making videos. I was always worried about my appearance. Growing up, I had a really bad stuttering problem. So I always worried about how like I spoke. And sometimes when I think about it, I actually start to, to stutter. But I know that God is working with me, God is working through me, and the things that He has for me to say, whenever it's time for me to say it, God will shine His light through me, and the words will just flow out. So that's my spiel for today. I just want to say that I'm so excited, you guys, because that meeting went exceptionally well. Today went exceptionally well. And I'm glad that God has changed my perspective in a way to where I am more comfortable in my seat because man didn't put me there. God positioned me there. That's my seat, and I'm going to have a seat in it. Okay? That is my seat. And you best to believe I'm gonna have a real good seat in it. And I'm definitely gonna work on changing some of my work habits because I I really do like to feel needed. And I don't want to say like needed as in like only people that need me, but you know how well I say it's not needed. That's the word I want to use. I like to feel as if my employer can actually count on me. So say for example, if I get done with my reports, then I like to feel I like to know, or I like for her to know that she can call on me whenever she needs help because our managers get bombarded too. They get overwhelmed too. And sometimes if we can just lift a little bit of something off of their plate, for the things that we can do, if we can lift that off of them, that'll make their day so much easier. And I just want to lend that helping hand whenever I can. So I really stressed y'all in that meeting about how I really wanted to learn my job duties and how I really want to put my best foot forward. So with that being said, everyone out here watching that video, my faithful five, I'm grateful for y'all too. My faithful five, my videos is not really popping like that, but my faithful five, y'all are here. When you go to work or just wherever, you have to be work, just wherever you're going to be showing like servitude, give it your all. First and foremost, pray to God, but give it your all. All right, you guys.